Good morning all, this is Sunita from I Am Cosmic. Welcome. So I'm just coming in from the farm energy today, just bringing in the light of the fairies. So I just wanted to bring in the energy of the fairies, and we have beautiful fairy kingdom and the unicorns as well, but today specifically I'll be calling in the fairies, and I just wanted to bring in the energy of the fairies today for this beautiful day, just to bring in some more magic into our world, and just for our inner child as well, to play with children. So this is the energy I'm calling in. So as always, we will start with the prayer and invocation. So our purpose today is to call in the energy of the fairy kingdom to surround us with your magical presence, and we invite you into our heart spaces today to surround us, our world and our children with the light of the fairies, and so it is. So this is our beautiful energy we're bringing in today. And so we're working with fairies, very powerful to work outside because they look after the land. They are the angelic caretakers of our world. They are the angels of our world. So they really are very powerful beings. And just tapping into the fairies today, they're saying to go outside and just play if you can. And if the weather is not that great, if you have plants inside, fairies live on plants. Fairies live around children. Fairies live around children. So when we are born, we are allocated a unicorn and a fairy. It's up to us whether we continue to work throughout our life cycles. We also allocated angels. So fairies are beautiful because they keep us in touch with our inner child. They keep us in touch with our creativity, our innocence, our joy. And because the fairies love children, they work with children on such an intimate level, they keep them quite happy and joyous and real. Okay. So today we're going to pull some cards from the fairy kingdom, and as you can see, my child loves fairies, loves the energy. So this is the energy that fairies are very busy, they're very playful, they're very joyous, and they really enjoy being around people, other people. They're very social beings. And they love to work in a community, so they are group community friends. So we're just going to pull some messages from the fairy kingdom today to see what they would like us to know. So our first message from the fairies is divination. And it says, embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. So just looking at this picture, it's almost, the fairies are saying to me to remind us that we hold the power within us, and it's about connecting into that power and wisdom and using the tools that we've been taught or learnt over the years, e.g. working with cards, meditation, prayer, art, music. So it's almost like we are so powerful right now with getting clarity. If we want clarity, we need to go within and gain clarity. Even sitting outside, I mean, just being in the energy of the fairies, being in nature, it brings you clarity, right? And it's only a whopping 4 degrees, so being out in nature, the cold air, it really wakes you up and gives you clarity straight away when you're breathing. And the fairies are talking about breath as being really important today, to remind yourself to breathe properly. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. So going into nature and actively breathing in oxygenated air. The fairies believe that we are too much indoors. We don't get enough air. And even the quality of air that we breathe, the fairies are talking about looking out what we're breathing, how we're breathing, our techniques, as well as looking at like yoga as a way of learning breathing techniques. If yoga's not your thing, meditation. There are so many like different types of meditation that just focus on breath and the connection to the body. So the fairies are talking about our physical health as well. Elaborating on that, fairies believe in strongly looking after our vehicles of light because they see us humans and what we consume, and they look at the foods we eat and the chemicals. So the fairies are very natural. Okay. Our next messages from the fairies is solitude and stargazing.
Stargazing.
Okay. So the solitude Solitude card. Hey,
Let's go.
go inside please. Come on.
Oh, that.
The Solitude card is all about spending time in nature by yourself. But this is also talking to us about, see how one card we're standing in the light and one card we're standing in the dark. So it's about the balance of both spheres. And both fairies are saying it's about spending time by yourself, quiet time. And we're in the middle of winter. Nature is all about retreating. It's all about receptivity. It's all about planting those seeds. And with these two cards, solitude and stargazing, they're wanting us to spend time outside, but also under the stars if it's possible. And if you're not able to do that, just spending time in contemplation. We're in a period of contemplation and prayer. So the fairies are talking about seeing yourself as a part of nature, not separate from it. So this is very specific to us. Fairies, we feel as humans that we're not connected to nature, but we're so connected to nature. And fairies are really powerful beings. And if you want to really connect with nature, fairies are your key. Fairies live outside, they breathe the fresh air, they live off the land. Fairies are everything. And people think fairies are very magical and airy-fairy, but they can be quite funny too and mischievous. They can crack jokes. They can also be very naughty because they have personalities. So when you're working with fairies, make sure you call in the highest vibrational fairies. Our next message is new beginnings. So isn't that beautiful, new beginnings? And it says, this fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or a birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture it. So what new ideas have you been getting? And if you're wanting a new fresh start, it's that letting go process and then moving into the new beginning. The fairies are talking about, like a new beginning, you've got to get rid of the weeds in your head. You've got to get rid of the old grass. You've got to turn the soil up. You've got to cleanse and purify yourself. You've got to let go. And then you can move into the new energy. So the fairies are wanting to say to us, what new beginning would you like to start? Fairies are great in manifestation. I sit with fairies near a new moon and I manifest. I go outside and I talk to the fairies because fairies are great in physical manifestation. So if that's a key, if the next new moon, work with the fairies, light a candle. They love flowers, they love gifts, they like shiny gems. When I did a manifestation on money, I put some money there. They love flowers, just anything that intrigues them. They're very curious creatures as well. Two more messages. The next one is abundance. So I'm just talking about abundance, manifestation. Fairies are excellent in manifesting more money into your life. So they want us to be happy. They want us to be prosperous. Because the happier and more prosperous we are, the more we work in harmony with them. And it says, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks that you may have. In fairyland, human land, there is enough abundance for everybody. So if all of us had enough abundance in the world, we would actually be happy and healthy and prosperous. So the fairies is just saying to us, enjoy what we have, appreciate what we have. Appreciation brings in more joy, more upliftment, more prosperity. And if we can be happy for others as well. So not getting jealous and things like that. All of us have our own unique path. We have our own abundance. We have our own store of abundance. There's always enough, and even more so. So the fairies are promoting for you to think big. Go big. Don't go little. Because there's more than enough in the world. And by you being prosperous, you are able to help others and guide them and direct them. So that's what the fairies message is for today. One more. Last message is protection. So the fairies are bringing in saying we are all protected. The fairies protect us with a circle of light and love. And it says the fairies of protection are shielding us with the magical fairy ring. Practice psychic protection before embarking on spiritual work. Protection is so important right now for us all. So when you're doing spiritual work, be mindful that the planet is going through a very heavy period, as we all know. But the fairies are saying you can surround yourself with angels, but don't forget the fairies grounding our energy, big lesson. Remember to ground your energy at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, because you can do all this great angelic work and celestial work and everything, but you need to ground it into the ground, because it's almost like when you pull colours down, or imagine Michael, or work with fairies, you need to see it like a tree. You need to bring it all the way down into your feet, morning and night. Because if you don't do this before you go to bed, you tend to be more astral travelling, and you tend to be less protected. Your body is less protected, and then it can become under attack. So the fairies are reminding us the importance of grounding. More than ever, the higher up we go in the stratosphere, the more you've got to learn to anchor your energy into the earth. And you're able to better manifest as well, because if you're away with the fairies, in a saying, if your mind's not where your focus needs to be, you tend to miss opportunities that are in the moment. So the fairies are talking about here and now awareness. Miracles occur every day, the fairies say, through nature, through signs and synchronicities. If you're distracted and not grounded, you miss those opportunities. They will come back around, but it's almost like we are our own worst enemy in regards to receiving that abundance, receiving that information, receiving abundance of information. So there's so much solutions and information out there, not just abundance of money, abundance of solutions, abundance of opportunities, opening of new doors. We need to be awake, aware and present. So the fairies are really focusing on grounding. So I just want to say hi to Tracy and Melissa. Thank you for coming in. And all the people that are going to watch the live and replay. But yeah, today remember, the fairies are also a part of our matrix. The fairies are beautiful creatures. We kind of don't tend to focus on as much as angels, but they're our earth angels. So very important, just as important. And they have their work on earth as much as we do. So remember to call them in, like angels, like guides. And the fairies' final message is, have some fun today, smile. Put some flowers in your hair. Do something funny. Play with a child. Just do it for the heck of it. Don't be so serious. So those are the messages of the fairy kingdom today. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you're interested in my dragon courses that I'm coming up, or my unicorn, it's all on my website. Yeah, and one day I will do some fairy ones as well. But for now, I'm just focusing on unicorns and dragons, and then the fairies will come in for sure. So love and light to you all. Have a beautiful day. Bye.